Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 181. And we are, what's today, the 7th? We're 20 days away from the show. Um, the last couple of weeks gonna be interesting. My body, it's been moving in the right direction for the last 2 or 3 months. And which is good, which is great. I don't know what I weigh. I probably weigh myself the day of the show. I'm not a really big believer in weighing myself every week. Matter of fact, I probably weighed myself like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just never really went off the scale, because the weight to me the weight is just a number. I've never been the one or the type to be like, oh my God, I've lost I haven't lost any weight, but but I feel tired. I look bigger, or whatever it is. Or I remember when I first started bodybuilding, competitive bodybuilding, I was hopping on the scale every goddamn day, and it was fucking with my head. And it got to the point where my coach is like, he's like, yo, stop doing that. He's like, stop hopping in the scale every day because it's not gonna change. The only thing it's gonna do is gonna mess you up. So stop doing that. And yeah, and it's true. Relying on a number and to gauge where you at, to me is pointless. It always has been pointless. For me, it's more along the lines of, hey, are you getting stronger in the gym? Are you getting tighter? Can you see your abdominals? Because for me, it's like, as long as I can see my abdominals without flexing, that's how I know that I'm doing something right. I don't really go off my weight. Like I said, referencing a number to me has always been pointless. I don't care who you are. I go off the mirror because the mirror doesn't lie. The mirror shows you exactly what, exactly what's in front of you. Damn, that's some good coffee. Anyway, I had my last refeed day today. Believe it or not, like I'm not a huge guy on refeed days. It's not something that I have to have. It's like, cause the first 2 or 3 months of my prep, I went without a refeed day for 3 months. And I've been in prep since January. So roughly 6 months of prep, and I've only had 2 refeed days. I mean, like, I've had days where I've had cheat meals, because I was so early in the prep, I could just not quote unquote get away with it, but I was able to fit that into the meal plan because, it helps, having a cheat meal. Yeah, man, I think it's important to understand how your body works. In terms of your blood work, I don't care if you're a competitive bodybuilder or not. Person should always understand how his or her blood work works. What works for you, what doesn't work for you, and also too, understanding that certain foods can cause inflammation in your body. I've always thought that was interesting too, because it's like when guys get bloated and whatnot too, and I'm like, nah, it has nothing to do with with how the food was prepared. Your body probably has an allergic reaction to it. Anyway, today's podcast, man, is going to talk about a whole plethora of different things. Going to hit on 2 or 3 topics, but mostly, man, it's learning how to be okay with yourself, and knowing that it's okay not to be okay. Last month was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, man, and I think that's vital. I don't care what people say. I don't care, what their thoughts on it, man. But we all matter. Um, we all go through shit, trials and tribulations. We all go through some really, really dark times. I lost my brother 5 months ago. I ain't never gonna be right, you know. Of course, I'm gonna move on, and of course, I'm gonna live life. But in the grand scheme of things, when you lose somebody like that, your best friend, especially your twin brother, you're gonna be affected. I don't care who you are. and it's basically about knowing how to deal with shit and dealing with it in the right way. Thankfully, I've always had positive people in my corner. And I'm never the type to check, to check in with people. I don't like to bitch about my problems. Cause I'm a firm believer that everybody's going through the same thing, partner. You ain't special, and we're not. You know, very few of us are actually, very few people actually care about your mental health. And also too, another thing you gotta watch out for is people only being around you when they need something from you. Those are dangerous people because it's like you don't necessarily see that in the beginning. You don't see that they're, Joy Coy calls them energy vampires, right? And they're right, and he's 100% right. Stop hanging out with people who just need you around, just just for whatever it is, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional. Like it may be fun in the beginning because this person is giving you attention, but in reality, all they're doing is sapping your energy from you. And we got to do a better job of recognizing that. We have to do a better job of removing ourselves from that situation, because people like that, nah. Fuck them, and their energy vampiring ways. Because it's true. Stay away from people who constantly paint themselves out to be the victim in every situation that you're in. And because there's no way in hell that every situation you're in that you're always the victim. I don't care who you are. It doesn't work that way. Nobody is a victim in every situation that they're in. I don't care, and what's wild to me is like when people leave out shit in a situation to make themselves look good, and you find out that what they told you wasn't even 100% the truth. It was like maybe 50 or 60% of it. And what's wild to me is like when people will sit there and don't say shit about the relationship the entire time they're in a relationship, but as soon as they break up, they're like, oh my god, he or she was just like, oh, what the fuck was this energy when y'all were fucking? Like where was this disdain for this other individual when you were sleeping with them? You know what I mean? It's like where was all this shit at when it was needed? And now it's, because you guys are broken up, whatever it is, boom, 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 boom. It's like, it's like people get tired of your shit, and I'm not condoning cheating by any means, but I understand why some people do that. I understand why they do what they do, because it's like when you sit there and you listen to this individual talk, it's like, if you're doing all this shit, if you're doing all this complaining, then chances are you probably wasn't even remotely trying to fix anything in that relationship. You just wanted people to fix themselves. There's one person that I knew, they claimed, oh yeah, me and my significant other never had an argument or a fight. I'm like, you mean to tell me in the 5 years that you were dating dating this individual that you never had one argument, one fight? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but every relationship that we in, we at least have a few fights, right? I'm not saying, knock out, drag them out, that type of shit. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, there's gonna be, points in that relationship where, we gonna get tested from each other. And to say that you never had once had an argument with somebody, and then to come off rip and be like, oh, after y'all break up, now you want to air all the dirty laundry. I'm like, nah, you can't do that, bro. That just tells me one thing, that you would never ever willing to work on your shit in a relationship, but you wanted other people to do the same for you, but not you having to do the same for them. Fuck out of here. And you gotta watch for people like that, cause they a little sneaky. And of course, I'm speaking from personal experience. I've had an energy vampire in my life, and yeah, all they do is take from me, bro. They don't add any value to your situation, or to your life. And other thing I wanted to tap into, man, is that it's okay for you to cancel plans and just chill. It's okay for you to be like, oh, hey, bro, I know Monday, my nigga, I was feeling this, but it's Friday, my nigga, I ain't feeling it no more. And that's perfectly fine. But you don't want to be that dude who cancels at the last minute every single time. Because there are some people, bro, some friends that I have that I gotta keep them at a certain tier. Where I'm up here on tier 3, they gonna be down here in tier 1. It's like I can't depend on them for everything. You know what I mean? And I can't come to them with when shit that's serious that I gotta get taken care of. That they don't know how to respond in an appropriate time. And then there are friends who I keep on the same tier as me, because I know if I call them, they're gonna pick up the phone. They're gonna drop what they're doing. Everybody should have friends within each tier, and it doesn't necessarily mean that people who are lower in the lower tiers than you that they're bad people, because a lot of them are not. They're not bad people. It's just that they don't value the same things that you value, whether it's you needing a favor and whatnot. And because, like I said, there are people that I know that I can call for a favor, and 20 minutes later they're there. Or if they're busy at the moment, be like, hey, bro, I can't get to that right now, but give me X amount of time and I'll get to that. And then there are dudes who I call, 2 weeks later, I get a call back. I'm like, nah, dog, it's like, I'm cool, because what I needed you to do, you couldn't do it, so don't even trip, partner. We straight. So it just things like that. It's like you have to understand who you're dealing with, and like I said, not all people like that are bad people. It is that you have to differentiate who's worth the energy and who's not, because a lot of people, they're not worth the energy. And frankly, man, it's like the last thing you gotta do, you gotta counsel people, man. It's like, now I ain't saying be no Dr. Phil or any type of motherfucker like that, but it's like when you see somebody fucking up and they're your partner, they're your homie, whatever it is, boom, 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 bro, pull them to the side, dog. Peeping in the game. It's like, I had to tell this one young boy that I know, he was out there doing some shit, and I was like, bro, alright, check this out, right? You doing all this weirdo shit. I don't know why you doing that. But you can't complain when you get caught in the situations where you are stepping out on your significant other, right? I said, dog, sooner or later she gonna get tired of your shit. Sooner or later she gonna find somebody else who's gonna value her, and that's it. She's not gonna put up with the bullshit. She's not gonna put up with the lies, the manipulation. So you gotta figure the fuck out, And that's exactly how I talk to people, because it's like, I want them to understand that this shit is serious. Now, you out there fucking with somebody's emotions and feelings, bro, that could be all bad for you. And a lot of people don't understand that, man. They be like, yeah, I understand it, and boom, still make the same mistake. And it's like, how do you not learn, dog? It's like, nigga, because everybody learns at their own pace. But at the same time, it's like, how you gonna sit there and make the same mistake? I'm gonna blame a motherfucker for something that you did, you know? Or it's like when somebody cheats on somebody and they give they give the other individual another chance, and they do exactly what, you know, you thought they was going to do. And at the same time, it's like, okay, like you already have the antecedent to what to cause the behavior. Why would you want to relive that? You know, like why would you want to give this other individual another opportunity for him or her to do some shit to you that took you several months or years to heal from? Like, stop giving motherfuckers a second chance to do the same shiesty shit. Like, that's what I don't understand, man. It's like, and yeah, true. What people say, like, you don't really know the situation because you don't know how volatile it is because because you're so into it. You know, I mean, what it was so involved in the situation. I was like, yeah, that's true to an extent. But what people don't really tell you, man, is it's not that you don't see it. It's like you're stuck between that honeymoon phase, which is bullshit, and then now you have to deal with the actual person who's here. You know, that honeymoon phase, that 2-3 month phase where everything's lovey-dovey, you know, he or she may be love bombing the fuck out of you, you know, or saying all the right things, doing all the right things. It's like, oh, it's like, you want that, but you got to realize that was a farce. You know, that wasn't real. Like, that's what you want because that's what because, you want that soft energy in the beginning, but in reality, a lot of motherfuckers ain't like that, man. It's like, a lot of these people will manipulate you and they'll say and do all the right things, but in reality, don't mean a goddamn thing about it. You know, like they want to say, oh, X, Y, and Z, yada, 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 boom, 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 keep it sweet. But in reality, they just don't want you to leave. And a lot of the times, and it's just, I'm talking about the women now. Women will fall for this shit. And then, like, years go by, or weeks go by, and months go by, and then they start noticing cracks in the foundation. But they thinking this shit that it's gonna get better because, like, nah, you know what? He wasn't like this in the beginning. Or what's even worse is when women do that shit. Because women, they're more diabolical than us men, believe it or not. A lot of these women will play on emotions, and men, we're extremely animalistic by nature. We fuck with our emotions, and a lot of us we don't have the proper training to deal with or to have the proper training for the coping mechanisms that are needed in situations like this. Because simply put, a lot of people, man, they deserve to be told, you know what? Fuck you, fuck your drama, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck everybody else who's associated with you, because I don't need this shit in my life. And walk away. And walk away from the situation because you don't deserve that, man. It's like anybody who fucks with your head, who fucks with your mental, doesn't deserve you at all in any capacity. I don't care what it is, whether it's a platonic friendship, which is another thing I'm gonna jump into, or an actual romantic relationship where y'all being intimate. And if somebody's not being up and up with you, bro, fuck them. Or if you feel that they're not being up and up with you, most likely they're not. So stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Stop thinking that they won't do this shit to you. Or stop thinking that, oh yeah, X, Y, and Z, yada, 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 whoop de whoop. But it's like, at the end of the day, if somebody cared about you and your well-being, bro, they would not be doing the shit that they doing to you. Or they would have thought about you before they did that shit. Or they did think about you and they thought you was a chump. But yeah, man, speaking about platonic relationships, I ran across something on Twitter and I posted it to my IG page, to my stories. Hey, look, just past Wednesday. And I don't know how legit the thing is, but it was a text exchange, right? And so the girl was telling the guy like, "Oh well, like you're not boyfriend material, you're husband material." And the guy was like, "What doesn't make any sense?" So she goes on, she breaks it down. She's like, "I'm gonna keep you, around just to keep you around, because, as an option, simply because, you know, all girls do it." And the thing about it, man, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, she's not wrong. Because like I said in the beginning, we've all been through situations like that where we don't know that, whether we're an option, or whether we know, or whether we have a feeling that we're an option, but in reality we don't want to accept the fact that we are an option, which is extremely short-sighted and comical when you think about it. Because people will tell you exactly what they think about you, you know, whether through their actions or through their words, or both. And I think that's extremely, number one, it's diabolical for her to say that, because it was. But the more and more I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense though, because it's like she's telling him exactly what she's gonna do. She's telling him exactly what she thinks, what she thinks of him. And so she's basically telling him like, hey, like this is what's gonna happen if you stick around. If you stick around, cool, but don't think I'm gonna see you in a different way that I see you. Yep. And the more and more I thought about it, the more and more it made sense, because it's like she's giving him an out, but she's doing it in a way that she's telling him straight up, this is what's gonna happen. And if you want to stick around for that, cool. If you don't want to stick around for it, there's a door, right? And as diabolical as that is, as cutthroat as that approach was, I gotta give her credit for it, man. Because she's telling this individual from jump what it is. She's telling him what she thinks of him. She's telling him that he's basically too nice of a guy. That she's gonna get ran through, fucked over, getting emotions, get all her emotions in a bunch or whatever it is, right? And she's gonna come running back to him because he's a good dude. He's a safe dude. Don't do that for people, man. Like, don't create a safe space for people who are gonna use and abuse you. Because like Jules Santana once said, man, he's like, we're all here to get used. We're not here to get misused. What he means by that is to know your role, and where you fit in with somebody, and if you rocking with them, cool. If you don't rock with them, fuck it. Like, stop trying to create space for somebody who doesn't do the same for you. And the older I get, the more I realize that, man. It's like, people may call me an asshole, whatever it is, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna sit there and play in my face. You're not gonna sit there and get the soft version of me when you're out there doing some fuck shit. Or if I find out about it and I ask you questions about it, 95% of the time, I already know the answer. I've already talked to several people who can confirm that. So why are you lying? Like, it doesn't make any sense for you to do that, because it just makes you look stupid. And I think that's what people have a tendency to get misconstrued and fucked up. It's like they think, oh, Mikey this, Mikey that. Nah, Mikey, yeah. Mikey's all that. But Mikey's also the guy who's going to tell you, you know what, shorty, fuck you. Have a nice life. But if I tell you, take care of yourself, that's basically me telling you, we never going to talk again. At all. Like, I'm blocking you on social, I'm blocking you on my phone, I'm deleting the text thread, I'm keeping it pushing. Because at the end of the day, when you show people how much you value them, or the lack of value that they have in your life, you can't sit there and pretend that you didn't know how this shit's gonna play out. And I think that's a really, really sad thing, man, that people will waste months, years, possible decades with somebody who doesn't value them. And it doesn't matter what arena it is. It could be a friendship. It could be a marriage. It could be a long-term relationship. It could be a plethora of different things. But at the end of the day, you deserve somebody who's going to put you first in situations, who's going to think of your feelings and your emotions in every situation that they're in. That's what you deserve. You don't deserve somebody else who's wishy-washy, who doesn't know what the fuck they want. If you run across somebody like that, just tell me, I know that you don't know what you want right now, but please leave me alone. Because by you coming into my life and and us creating this bond, which is a trauma bond, by the way, because you don't know what you want, because you haven't healed. You haven't healed, and you most likely haven't taken the proper steps to be healed. Please leave me alone, because by you coming into my life and disrupting it and causing chaos doesn't do me any good. It just hurts me because you're over here not bringing any value. You're bringing chaos to me, and I don't do well with chaos, man. I don't do well with trauma bonding or trauma dumping. I'm solution based. So if you come to me with a problem, we're gonna fix it. Now it's up to you if you want to put in the proper work to get better. I can't force that, but what I can do is hold you accountable. And holding you accountable means two things: checking you on your bullshit, and understanding that you're human, but also understanding that you have an active role in this situation, whether you want to admit it to or not. Because for every action, there's a reaction and there's a consequence. I'm gonna say that again. For every action, there's a reaction and then there's a consequence for it. You can't be the victim in every situation, because your action to the react and cause the reaction now cause a consequence, or your lack of action that can also cause a reaction as well. So at the end of the day, it's all about getting better. It's all about understanding your strengths and your weaknesses and working it out. You're working your ass off to get better in terms of your weaknesses, right? You don't sit there and you don't become better by not working on what your weaknesses are. All right, y'all, this is about 28 minutes of your life that y'all won't get back. Hope y'all keeping full peace, private play, positive pushing, and I will see y'all next week Sunday. I love y'all, ghosts, and like I always say, know your worth, because they're better than what you are. Peace.